person who formulates strategies and implement these ideas to DXN world. From a very humble beginning from DXN India, he is now the Chief Marketing Officer of DXN Globe, presenting before you with a very powerful topic, the Latin recipe. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Prajith Pavithran.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. 22 years ago, when I joined DXN back in India, it was in 2001, we were in 8 countries around the world. But today, after all these years, DXN has grown in over more than 180 nations around the world. 22 years ago, I remember we were a million family globally. And we used to celebrate that back in India at the time. But today, after all these years, today we are more than 16.7 million, close to 17 million family members globally. You know, give all of us a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations. Now, if you look at the global sales of DXN, at the top positions stand some nations in Latin America. At number 1 position, we have a country that is pretty small, very small in population, a growing economy, a population of around 34 million people. It's called Peru. That's at number 1 position. At number 2, we have a country that is even smaller. It's around close to 11 million in population. It's called Bolivia. That stands number 2. At number 3, it's Mexico. We all know about Mexico. And number 4 is our beautiful Middle East market. So give yourself a very big round of applause. And at number 5, we have my great country, under the flagship leadership, we have Professor India. So these are the top big markets for DXN around the world. Now people in the Middle East, and of course around the world, have this question in mind, whether we can overtake these Latin nations and become the number 1 country in the world or not. And many people ask me this question, is it possible? Because they have seen these small countries like Peru, Bolivia, Mexico, has remained on the top spot for the last 8 years continuously. Month after month, year after year, and they've been breaking their own records every month. So people generally ask this question, what it takes to become number 1? Can we become number 1? What is the secret to become number 1? So today I'm going to share with you the secret recipe to become the number 1 market for DXN and overtake all these Latin countries. So are you ready? We call it as a Latin recipe for success, and this is a very simple recipe, but it's a very powerful recipe. And I'm sure if you want to be at the top spot, it's just that we just need to have a different perspective of looking at the same thing. Latin recipe is a very powerful recipe, and we have been spreading across, and we've been talking about it throughout region of America, throughout the world now. And people have found it interesting. Now this recipe has got 5 key ingredients. These are very simple ingredients, but very powerful ingredients. So when we share these ingredients to the people, they say like, okay, we do understand what these ingredients are. However, we are not ready to follow all the 5. We can follow 4. Let's skip 1. I'm sorry if you do that. We are not going to be successful. We are not going to be number 1 market. If you want to make our region number 1, if you want to go up to the level of a financially independent person, of a crown ambassador, and walk free in life, it's very important that we have to follow strictly these 5 ingredients. So are you ready? Yes. Number 1 is a very important ingredient. It's called passion. passion. Passion is a very simple term, but it's a very, very strong, very powerful word. Now, passion is a very important ingredient that every leader, every member should have in this business in order to achieve success. Now, if you look at these leaders, when they talk to you with a lot of energy, with a lot of emotions. When they come up to the stage and talk, they talk at the highest pitch of the voice. Many of them, you will see them jumping and dancing, and they demonstrate a lot actually on the stage. We call them as a passionate leader in DXN. Now the question is, where does this passion come from? That's an interesting question actually. Where does this passion come from? Is it that some people are very unique? They have this, they can bring in the passion at any point in time, for the rest of them are not. Passion is something that anybody can have in this business. But where does this passion come from? Now, passion comes from something called believing. Believing. Believe in what you're doing. Do you believe in the products? Do you believe in the system of the company? Yes. Do you believe in Dr. Lim? Yes. Do you believe in DXN? Yes. Now that's a very, very important subject to talk about, believing. Because it is your belief that brings in the passion in you towards your DXN business. Now, do you all have a dream, by the way? Yeah. Do you all have a dream? Yeah. The question is, do you believe in your dream? Now, let me share with you a story, ladies and gentlemen. DXN was started way back in 1993. As we all know, it's all there in the literature that Dr. Lim started DXN in 1993. But the real story is, DXN was not started in 1993. DXN began in the year 1992. But nowhere we talk about 1992. Because nothing really happened in 1992. Nothing happened. Not a single product was sold in 1992. The actual sales happened in 1993. That's why we always refer officially DXN was started in 1993. But something very interesting happened in 1992. And that's what I want to share with all of you today. It's an interesting aspect of DXN. That's when Dr. Lim introduced DXN and shared his vision to his people, his own people, his family, his friends, his colleagues. Shared them the idea of DXN, shared them the system, shared the concept, shared the values and principles through which he wants to grow this company worldwide. But unfortunately, none of them believed him. They thought it's a foolish idea. They thought perhaps he's heading for a disaster. He used to tell the people, we're going to set up one world, one market. We're going to set up one dragon company. We're going to expand to 20 nations in the next 10 years' time. Nobody believed him. There was a time that many of the people around happens to be the well-wishers of Dr. Lim, and used to always advise him to stop doing DXN because they used to always give him some good best advices possible, which was to focus on his to focus on his profession, that is engineering. But in the words of Dr. Lim, you always used to tell us that many people used to advise him to stop doing DXN. But I believed in DXN. I believed in the business. I believed in these products. I believed in the system. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 1992, and this is 2024. DXN has spread across to more than 180 nations. We have more than 77 branches and main stockists and franchisees around the world. We have close to 17 million members around the world. DXN is now regarded as one solid big company. It's a publicly listed company, and so many things have happened. We have establishments throughout the world. We have establishments in Malaysia, in China, in India, in Dubai, Middle East. We have in Bangladesh. We have it in Nepal. We have something coming up in Morocco. We have 2 establishments, factories in Mexico. Peru is coming up. Guyana, big piece of land we have already got. All this happened, you know why? All these years? Because this one man, he believed in his dream. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a dream, it's very important that you hold on to the dream and believe in your dream. It is your belief that will turn out to be your passion. That's why I keep asking people, do you believe in the products? Do you believe in the system? Do you believe in the company? Do you believe in Dr. Lim? Do you believe in your dream? Do you believe in yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a belief that will turn out to be a passion. And believing is very important because belief is your passion. And passion is a very, very important ingredient. That's number 1. And number 2 is vision. All these successful leaders, all these people you come across earning huge numbers, huge income, they have a very long vision. They have seen the future of the next generations in this company. You know, many years ago in one of the meetings, people asked Dr. Lim, Dr. Lim, how do you differentiate DXN with the other companies in the industry? And Dr. Lim, he pretty much jokingly answered that, of course, you know, in this industry, we have many companies out there. But so many companies in this industry, we call them as a 3-year company. 3-year company, because these companies are programmed to last only for 3 years. These companies, they start the business, they grow, they reach at the peak, and they start falling. They keep falling, and one day they collapse, they disappear, and everybody forgets about them. It all happens in a span of 3 years' time. That's why we call them as a company that is programmed to last only for 3 years. And DXN is not a 3-year company. DXN system is programmed to last for more than 3 generations. For you, for your children, and their 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 children, and the generations to come after that. That's DXN system. And as a leader, if you want to be successful, if you want to be at the top, you know, financially independent, it's very important that you need to have this vision in place. Number 1 is passion. Number 2 is vision. Number 3 is love. Love is a very, very important ingredient. Just the way we love our children, we love our family. In a family, you know, we like to see our children grow and become successful. They perform very good in the grades. It gives a sense of pride, a sense of satisfaction. We see them rise and become successful in their life. You know, that's the most happiest moment in a parent's life, because there is love existing between within the family. The same love we have to bring to networking, because a network under you is your family. Those are your children. Now, what is the significance here? Because we would like to see them grow and become diamonds. Productive diamonds. We want to see them rise and become successful. If you want to be financially independent, you have to help them achieve success. Everybody. They are successful, you are more successful. You see, our marketing plan is designed based on love. You develop 10 diamonds under you, you become a crown diamond. You develop 20 diamonds under you, you become a crown ambassador. Do you agree with me? And it's very important because many people do not understand this. When the network starts to grow, when the diamond starts to grow and they see them rise up in their levels, it makes you impatient. Saying like, oh my God, you know, perhaps, you know, the leverage is getting, the gap is getting smaller and smaller. It gives a lot of impatience. But as a leader, ladies and gentlemen, you have to see them grow. And you have to make those lines, those diamonds, every line super solid lines, and help them grow and succeed in this business with love. And love is a very, very important ingredient. As a crown ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have minimum 20 solid, automatically qualifying lines, productive lines. and for which you have to make sure that every line, every diamond out there, they grow to the level of crown ambassador, just like you. And unbelievably, you can earn a big income from these lines. So it all happens because of bringing in this particular ingredient called love. So number 1 is passion, number 2 is vision, number 3 is love, number 4 is called independence. Now, if you want to be successful, if you want to be achieving the financial independence, it's very important that earlier, as quickly as possible, you have to be a dependent leader. That means you're not dependent on the company, you're not depending on your uplines, on your cross lines. You quickly learn what the business is all about, learn about the marketing plan, learn about the company, how to take the business opportunity, what is the DXN culture, and quickly start doing meetings on yourself, by yourself. You're not asking anybody else to do the meetings for you. We have a lot of leaders, a lot of members actually, even after achieving levels, they are dependent on their uplines and the company to do meetings for them, or even to support them. Why Latin America? Why Peru is number 1? Because every member, every leader, they are not dependent on anybody. They participated in the trainings, of course. We give them trainings. They learned everything and they start doing activities all by themselves immediately. So that's very important. You have to do daily activities, weekly activities, monthly events, quarterly events. All these countries, they organize a monthly convention, which is like around 500 people. They organize quarterly leadership convention, which is close to around 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 people, and do it again and again and again, repeatedly, all by themselves, without the support of the company, without the support of the upline leaders, all by themselves. It's very important that we have to start mass mobilizing the people in order to bring the company to a newer levels, and that starts from the roots, with every leader, every member becoming independent. So if you are a leader and you want to see your member grow in this company, you have to make sure that every member out there learn this ingredient of being an independent leader. Do you agree with me? Yeah. Number 1 is passion. Number 2 is vision. Number 3 is love. Number 4 is independence. And number 5, which I believe is the most important one, it's called attitude. People ask me this question, what is attitude in this business? And I always say attitude is everything in this business. You might be a very talented person, you might be a very good speaker, you might be a trainer, you might be a very educated person, but if you lack the right attitude, I'm sorry, you won't be successful in this business. Attitude, it is a tendency to respond positively or negatively towards an idea, an object, a person, or a situation. People take it, if an idea is presented to them, they might take it positive, or they might take it negative. They might think like, okay, let's say DXN is presenting a good idea to me, perhaps company is in place, has been doing very well for the last 30 years, is a great company, let me try this, it's going to help me out. Let me see if it has worked in Peru, it has worked in Bolivia, it has worked in other countries, and they are doing it. Let me also do this and see how it works for me. What's going to happen at the max? You will realize whether it's working or not. That's the only thing going to happen. And people try this out. Good attitude. Other side, they might try to spend a lot of time in dissecting the pros and cons and pros and cons, and they waste a lot of time doing that. Attitude plays a very, very, very significant role, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. In order to be successful, you need to have the right attitude. If these 5 ingredients, these are simple ingredients, and anybody can understand these ingredients. You don't need to be a very intellectual person to understand these 5 ingredients. They're simple ingredients, but that these ingredients are in place that has transformed the lives of so many people out there. And everybody's following it, one after the other. And that's why even a small country with a population of 34 million, a country with a population of 11 million, they keep breaking records month after month, year after year. If they can do it, you can do it better. Do you agree with me? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share a picture here. As you can see, these are the leaders from Latin America, from United States, from Peru, from Mexico, from Bolivia, from Ecuador. All these are Latin leaders. And this photo was taken in 2016 in Las Vegas when we organized the anniversary for DXN USA. And in fact, I invited everybody. I wanted everybody to participate for this event. So I sent them, because none of them, most of them did not have the visa. So I sent them invitation letters. So they applied for the visa and they got the visa. And everybody was able to make it except one person. Except one person. Next slide, please. Yeah. Her name is Epifania Condori. She's from Peru. And she lives not in the city proper, the capital city. She lives in a province called Puno, roughly around 2 hours from Lima. And she's been living there, she's been working there. And she, her status in 2016 was gold diamond. So I sent her an invitation letter, and she happened to, present the letter along with all the documentations for the visa. And unfortunately, her visa got rejected, American visa. And everybody was able to make it. She alone was not able to make it. And she gave me a call out from right outside, from the embassy. And she was crying. She was crying. And she said, like, Mr. Prajith, I'm so sorry. As much as I want to come, I couldn't make it because the person, he rejected my visa. So I was wondering, what happened? She's a good leader, a good income, she had. And what was the reason for the rejection of this visa? I asked her. She told me that I presented all the statements. I presented my bank statements. I presented the statements from the company. I showed them all the property documents I had. Everything, whatever was requested, everything was there along with the letter. But the person rejected my visa. Why? Because the person could not believe the income that I'm making. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady in 2016 was making an income of $25,000 monthly. Now, the person who interviewed her, he could not believe that this lady who looks so simple, who looks humble, who lives not even in the city Lima, who lives in a very remote part of the country called Puno, that is neighboring Chile, and it's a poor place, it's a poor village actually, and she lives there and she's been working out there and she makes a monthly income of $25,000, and that person could not believe or imagine how can she make it. And why? He couldn't believe because he's an American. Even in America, people do not make $25,000 even though you go up to the level of a CEO, So he could not believe. And outrightly, he just simply rejected her visa and sent her back home. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I sharing this story with you? Ladies and gentlemen, why am I sharing this story with you? Because if Epifania, living in Peru, not even in Lima, in the remotest part of the country, and been working there diligently, sincerely, doing activities daily, having the right attitude, having the right vision, doing the work with passion, with a lot of love and independence, if she can make $25,000 monthly, everybody in this room can make more than that. Do you agree with me? Of course, this was 2016. Now it's 2024. 8 years later, she's already a Crown Ambassador. At the time, it was $300,000 monthly she was making. Now it is more than $1 million she's already making. With the right attitude, with passion, with love, with independence, with a proper vision. She believes in everything what she's doing. If she can do it, everybody in this room can do it. This is just one of the examples I'm sharing with all of you. There are thousands and thousands of other examples in Latin America. If they can do it, everybody can do it. So can we make DXN Middle East number one? India, can we make it number one? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy, so proud, and so privileged to be here. Thanks a lot for having me. And I believe, with all the efforts that we're giving in, with all the activities and everything, I think very soon our region is going to be number one, and very soon we'll overtake all the Latin countries. So thank you very much. God bless all of you, and see you all at the top. And go Crown Ambassador. Thank you so much.